Hey guys, how are y'all doing? This is Arlessa coming at you with a video, and I am out of town at my family's camp house, and I'm sitting here on a bench that we have. We have the cool little swing behind me, and so today is our last day. We'll be leaving here in just a few hours. We're gonna stretch this vacation as long as we can, so we're not gonna leave until probably around 2. But that's okay because we are enjoying ourselves. But I did want to pop on and make a video because, for one, I'm only here like twice a year, and why not make a video in a place that I am not really ever going to make too many more videos until the next time I come, probably. So here's a video. Also, I did get a plant while I was up here. Look at this little guy. He's holding up the phone for me. And this is kind of oddly placed, but it's okay. I'm going to make the best of it. So I wanted to do a real quick video because my daughter and myself, you may hear like some popping sounds. We have a lot of hickory trees on the property, and the hickory nuts are falling because they're getting ready for all the little animals to start stashing for winter. So if you hear that, don't worry. There's not like gunshots and things happening. It's just nature happening all around me. So, okay, I want to just shoot straight because I don't want to do too many takes on this, because I really want to do this video because and then spend the rest of the time with my daughter, because we're having such a great time. It's exactly what we needed. We've been having the conversations that are really necessary, and that's what's leading to this video right now, is the fact that we had some conversations about traumas. And you know, she asked me a question. She said, well, how big does a trauma have to happen to cause behavior differences, or cause different thought patterns or certain coping mechanisms? And I was like, wow, baby, that is a really great question. And so I answered to the best of my ability in the moment. And so I want to share this with you guys because I think it's really important, because a lot of people think and tend to they think about the severity of their own traumas, and they compare it to other people's. Like, oh, well, you know, I didn't lose a child. So if I didn't lose a child and I don't know that loss, then how can, you know, then my trauma can't possibly, you know, impact me in the way that could. Or, you know, and I don't know if that really made sense, but let's say like just impact very, very, very big traumas, you know. Yes, they do have an effect on us, but smaller traumas, I hate to say smaller traumas, all trauma carries weight, right? We can't say what trauma carries more weight than another trauma for somebody else, because we don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody processes differently. Everybody takes emotion differently. Everybody processes emotion differently. Everybody displays emotion differently. Everybody takes different things that happen to them differently based on their own experience within that moment. And so really, the trauma is all about how it impacts you in the moment. No matter how big or small other people may look and think that it is. I'm looking all around because it's like I can't help but just look at all the beautiful nature around me and look at the camera. So please forgive me if I'm looking a lot. And that does have a little bit to do with the ADHD, being neurodivergent. So please do excuse that, but also note that, hey, this is also something that ADHD people do, is look around a lot. It's just constant catching our attention. So I will do a video on that, but I like to point out certain things here and there just so you can note it. But anyways, so it's really about the impact about the impact that the trauma has on the person that it's happening to. So you can be treated a certain way and completely neglected emotionally, and that has an incredibly effective impact on you. And then you start to become a people pleaser. Like a lot of these codependencies and these ways that we act out, like people pleaser, perfectionism, you know, a lot of these things behaviors stem from traumas and past experiences that we've had in our lives. Okay, so be gracious with people and their where they come from, because you may think, oh, well, you weren't, you know, sexually abused, or you weren't physically abused. Why are you like this? Well, it doesn't matter it does matter if people are sexually and physically abused. It matters. Any type of abuse matters, right? But it doesn't matter whose trauma appears to be greater than the next, because it affects everybody differently. So you could have had a really bad day at school when you were 12 or 13 or even younger, and you were the last to get chosen for the dodgeball game, you know, and the last to be chosen may have had a certain effect on you. Maybe it could have caused you to be a little bit more of a people pleaser. Maybe in that moment, it impacted you thinking, you know, you weren't worthy of being chose first. You were last, right? And so even though as an onlooker or an onlooker or somebody who doesn't understand may say, "Ah, you didn't get chosen till, I mean, you got chosen last, no big deal," right? But in that moment, depending on what that person could have, what that little kid or person could have been going through during that moment or that day or that phase in their life, you know, that at that very moment, the way that that impacted them could have done something and allowed them to continue to think a certain way and then start to perceive things that way. And then it just continues through life. So it's something that we may think is so simple, but it impacts somebody in an incredible way that they carry throughout their life. So I think doing trauma work and understanding traumas and where they come from and how they happen, I think is really important because a pretty leaf fell is really important because we have our own journeys. Nobody's journey is the same, but we are always moving through this life and we are always processing and we are always healing. There is never going to be a time where everything is healed. There's never going to be a time where we don't have some sort of trauma, right? Like I said, man, you know, you can gain 50 pounds and realize, like me, and then it's like, oh, you got a trauma. Now you don't want to overeat, you know, like you have these food traumas and then you start to engage with food differently because of maybe a weight loss or a weight gain, you know, so it's really, traumas can be anything, right? So the word trauma is a blanket statement. Like it's saying that something that was extremely impactful, no matter how big or small it is perceived to anybody else, is a trauma that we work through, that we process through, and we're not taught this stuff, man. And I'm really excited because I'm starting to link up with some other people that were really getting ready to collaborate and put some really cool stuff out there, guys. So hopefully we'll start shedding some light, you know, with various people working together on all of this. But, you know, the thing is that we're all, ooh, I just got chills because it's time to really all come together and start uniting under this and understanding that we're all not too much different when it comes to the things that we deal with and the emotions and stuff that we're working through, right? Everybody is a work in progress. We're going to be a work in progress until we leave this earth. We're going to be. It's going to continue. And it's a brave journey. We're all here doing some brave things. And I tip my hat to you guys. But I got a little sidetracked because I'm just me. But at the same time, I think I say I always get sidetracked in my videos. Because I probably do get sidetracked in all of my videos in my own brain. And I'm just in nature and I'm loving it. So, guys, remember that traumas, no matter how big or small we perceive them to be for another person, it is not up to us to judge how impactful it was or isn't. What is to be considerate, be genuine and intent. You move with loving intent and do your best to say, you know what? We're all kind of messed up in our own way, aren't we? Right? I don't like to say we're messed up. I like to say we're all processing life in our own way, in our own journey. And onward. We got this. But guys, the video is to be saying, hey, look at your trauma. No matter how big or small, did something affect you? Did something hurt your feelings? Or did something, you know, move you in a certain way and you've never really processed it? Or maybe you thought, oh, I'm just being dumb. And so you pushed it down, right? But it became like a way that you judge your own self moving forward. Take a look at that. Start to dig down deep and say, you know what? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I'm not worthy? Or why do I feel like I have to people please? Or why do I feel like, you know, I have to have the best outfit? Or why do I feel like my hair has to be perfect? Me? I'm kidding. I post a lot of stuff with my hair not perfect, but I did curl it for the video. The things we do. But hey, why'd you do it? I wanted to look nice for the video. But there was a time where I could not even leave my house without putting makeup on. I mean, now I'll go to work with no makeup on. I'll go anywhere with no makeup on. That's not a problem now, but that's because I've healed some things that led me to the misconception that I had to look perfect every time I walked out the door and saw other people. So this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There maybe wasn't anything super crazy, chaotic that led me to think that way, but something happened where I used to think that was the case. I needed to be on. I needed to be perfect. People were going to not accept me if they saw me raw and for who I really was, because, you know, for a long time, I don't think people didn't really accept me for who I was, because I always, you know, I came from a Pentecostal background, and there was just a lot of things that other kids didn't understand with the way I dressed or things like that. So different things lead to different ways that we believe and we think as we process. So it's always good to be mindful about what's happening to you, and realize that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you're sensitive and you felt something very deeply, right? It's okay if you're just trying to figure out the steps after an extremely traumatic experience for yourself. Be gentle with yourself, guys, through the process. Understand that traumas are, no matter how big or small, right? A trauma is a trauma, and it has every bit of right to be considered and looked at just like anything else, okay? So be gentle, be kind with yourself and with others, and have a good weekend, guys. I'm fixing to go in there and hang out with my daughter before we leave, and then, you know, tomorrow's a new work week, so wishing everybody a good work week, and bye. Thanks for watching my video.